Hello and welcome back. So in today's lesson, again, we are going to study some details, some expressions, and some clauses. It is really important to have a knowledge, information about the main clause and the subordinate clauses. Yes, let's see what they are. In fact, we have just studied in the previous video the adverbial clauses. Time, adverbial clause of time is as soon as, when, once, etc., etc. And it is very simple to distinguish between the main clause and subordinate clause. If there is a connector at the beginning of a clause, of a sentence, it is a subordinate clause. Okay? Yes, let's see, or let's continue studying our clauses as adverbial. Okay, tour 3, tour 6, the last tour of harmony 2. Yes. And of course, the first trip of this tour 3 will be studied. And in this tour, first of all, we will study the adverbial clauses as time, purpose, and concession. Okay. Concession means, yes, we will get it, I think, with the examples. Yeah, some privilege of doing something with enough to, yes, in this presentation, we will study the two of them and so such in the second video after this, in the following video. And we will do the tense summary, past, present, future. And again, we will study models, we will review them as simple and perfect. And we will also study verbals as infinitive, gerund, and participle, present participle form. And in the last 4 trips of this tour 6, because there are 10 trips in each tour, so in the last 4 trips of this tour, we are going to start the passive voice. The passive voice as present, past, future, of course, including the modals and the to be and imperatives as well. Okay. Now, this is our trip 1. Lesson 1, trip 1. Adverbial clause of time, first of all, and then place, and then reason, result, purpose, manner, condition with if, concession with enough to. Yes, concession means franchise, okay? A right to use or to sell something, privilege, okay. Okay, we will understand it better while practicing the dialogues, okay. An adverbial clause is a clause which we use as an adverb, okay? A clause which is used as an adverb. What is a noun clause? So noun clause is a clause which we use as a noun. What is an adjective clause? Adjective clause is a clause which we use as an adjective. Okay. Yes, we will have a complete, entire knowledge about them in the advanced level. Yes, we will wrap up them. Okay, we will wrap up them in the advanced level, and you will have a complete knowledge about all those clauses. Okay. Now let's start with two images, checkers and chess. Okay. What was Roger doing? What was Roger doing while they were playing checkers or chess? I'm not sure about it, but they were playing either checkers or chess. Yes. What was Roger doing then? While they were playing checkers or chess. While clause. Do you see the while clause here? Because there is the connector while. Okay. Okay, now dialogue one about adverbial clause of time, when and while. Dialogue one. Roger was working on the project while they were playing chess. Okay, they were playing chess. What was Yasemin doing while her father was reading? What was Yasemin doing? Yasemin was drawing pictures while her father was reading. Or Yasemin was telling the children stories while her father was reading. Yes, subject, verb, object, adverbs. While I was walking last Monday. So this is a dependent clause. There is the elements of sentence structure as subject, verb, object, complement, but it is not a sentence, independent sentence. It doesn't have a message in it, okay? While I was walking last Monday, yes, there isn't a message. I saw you. Oh, it's clear now. I saw you is the main clause. Or I saw you while I was walking last Monday. This is so practical. When I was young, for example, comma, if we start with the clause, when I was young, I wanted to be a teacher of English. When I am in London, when I am in London next year, when I am in London in next year, I will acquire English. I will try to acquire English is much better, I think. Okay. But to be determined, I think, yes, we can say, I will acquire English. I am determined to acquire English next year when I am in London. Okay. Now let's concentrate on when and when clauses. Rauf was listening to music. When was he listening to music? As a question, but as a connector. Rauf was listening to music when I saw him. Okay, when I saw him. What was Levent doing when you saw him? Levent was making a cake when I saw him. Now, what happens when spring comes? When spring comes. What will you do when spring comes? Specific. The first one, the green one, is in general, okay? What happens when spring comes? But specifically, what will you do when spring comes? Yes, what happens when spring comes? The flowers bloom in spring, or the flowers bloom when spring comes. But specifically, we will pick up flowers when spring comes. Present, but in the last one, simple future. We will pick up flowers, or we shall pick up flowers when spring comes. Simple future and present and clause. But the flower blooms when spring comes, present. Main clause, present, simple present, when clause. Okay. Or whenever, or no matter when, they are also very useful. Okay, whenever I have a question, when I have a question, no matter when I have a question, I ask it to my teacher. This is my habit. Generally, I always ask it to my teacher. What do you do whenever you have a question? Generally, whenever I have a question, I Google it. Yes, we use Google as a verb as well. Okay, solve, handle, tackle, rise above a problem. These are beautiful verbs. Okay. When I have a question, when I have a problem, I try to handle it, tackle it, rise above it. I try to rise above that problem. Okay, I can, I will, I must, all possible, follow my children, or I have to follow my children. I need to follow my children. I can follow my children. I will follow my children. I must follow my children, no matter where they go. No matter where they go. Wherever they go. Okay. Whom will you follow, no matter where he or she goes? I follow, says, who will you? I will. I will follow my nephew, no matter where she goes. Okay, the explanation part. I follow my children no matter where they go. This is my habit because present, present. The main clause is in present and the subverb clause is also in present. This is my habit. Okay. Now after clause. Let's concentrate on after clause and with, after, connector, conjunction. Okay. After Enes had slept for 1 hour in the past, after Enes had slept for 1 hour, he studied his lesson. Okay. When did Ertan study his lesson? After what he had done. Okay, after what he had done. So after he had eaten his lunch, he studied his lesson. Before Bekir goes to bed, he usually sets a wake-up alarm. Okay. Present, but this is his habit. What does he do after he wakes up? After he wakes up, he washes his hands and face. What does he do before he gets up? Before he gets up, he presses the snooze button to sleep a few minutes more. Or he presses, then of course he presses the stop button. Okay. Since clause, we are going to make a since clause. Okay, 7. I haven't made a mistake since I started writing. Okay, since clause, since I started writing. Who hasn't made a mistake since he or she started speaking? Mrs. Brady hasn't made a mistake since she started speaking. As if clause, to express manner. Burcu looked at Burak as if she was going to give him something. Who looked at Burak as if he were from Mars? Yes, this is just a reminder, and we will, this is an imaginary situation, we will study it in the advanced level, but this time, yes, let me answer it, just answer it, and without any explanation. Let's leave the explanation to the advanced level. Okay. Who looked at Burak as if he were from Mars? Yasemin looked at Burak as if he were from Mars. As, just as clause, Emre reminded me to behave as he had told me previously. Who reminded you to speak as he or she had told you? Yes, we will just put a name. Bahadır reminded me to speak as he had told me. Yes, the image says by Martin Luther King, Jr. Yes, famous American civil leader and intellectual. Okay, only in the darkness can you see the stars. So It inspires us. We shouldn't complain about the darkness. We should try to learn something, try to be aware of something good, even when we are in darkness. Only in the, because he says, only in the darkness can you see the stars. Do you see something strange here? He doesn't say you can see 100% true, but yes, we will study this again completely in the advanced level. This is called inversion structure of sentences, okay? And we use them uh, uh, while we are talking before the public. Yes, okay. Yes, only in the darkness can you see the stars. But let me read the inspired sentence. We need a torch. We need a torch so that we can see in the dark. Yeah, we can see. So there is no need to make inversion here like this. We need a torch so that can we see. There is no need to say it like this. Because of course it has some conditions. Okay, in some circumstances uh, we use inversion structure. Yes, we need a torch so that we can see in the dark. So what is important for us is that is here, so that, okay, as a conjunction, as a connector, so that. Let's try to get it, okay, from this example sentence. We need a torch so that we can see in the darkness, to express purpose, okay? We need a torch to see in the darkness. Why? Why do we need a torch? We need a torch to see well in the dark, or so that we can see, okay? So that we can see in the dark, or we need a torch to be able to see in the dark. Okay. Now, to adverbial clause of purpose with so that. Okay. Dialogue 10, we use a torch so that we will see, or we can see in the dark cave, for example. Why will you use a pair of scissors, my sweetie? Why will you use a pair of scissors, my sweetie? My grandma says to her grandkid, I will use a scissors so that I can cut some papers. Why will you use the soap? I will use the soap so that I can wash my hands. Yes. We use a torch so that we see in the dark, a general rule. But if we say, for example, so that I will see in the dark now for a specific situation. Okay. 11, I am telling you almost everything about the address so that you won't make a mistake and you can find it easily. Mommy, why are you telling me almost everything about cooking? I am telling you almost everything about cooking so that you will make delicious meals. Okay. In order that is just like so that, okay? In order that we learn a foreign language, in order that or so that we can mix, or we can communicate with people abroad. Why else do we learn a foreign language? We also learn a foreign language to make a career move. Okay. Okay. Why will Helen complete her assignment sooner than the others? Why? Why will Helen complete her assignment sooner than the others? Because she says, I work very hard. So, Helen, I am sure that Helen will complete her assignment sooner than the others because she works very hard. She is very hardworking, industrious. Okay, third heading, adverbial clause of reason with as, for, since, because, yes, clause. These are connectors. They take subject, verb, object, okay? I believe that Helen will complete her assignment sooner than everyone will. As I know that, or because I know that, for I know that, since I know that, she works more harder than her work fellows, or her co-workers, or her fellow workers. Why do you believe that Nancy will win this election? I believe that Nancy will win this election because she has prepared very much. She has prepared very much. Or since she has prepared very much, I believe that Nancy will win this election. Now the image says Paris is always a good idea for traveling. Okay, if clause, condition. If Donald goes to France means on condition that Donald goes to France, he will learn French. How will Karen learn Italian? So Karen will learn Italian if she goes to Italy. Now for the fourth heading, adverbial clause of concession with enough or enough and to. Just with enough and to, but in the following, in the next video, we will study to and such. Yes. Sorry, so and such. This one. So and such. Okay. Let me read the explanation. Yes, after subject and verb. Okay. After the verb, we use adjective enough. Okay. Or after adverb, again, we use enough. And for somebody, we need this for somebody to do. But in fact, enough adjective or adverb enough to do. Okay, the basic form of this is adjective enough to do. Okay, adjective enough to do. But for somebody is also necessary. This structure has a positive implication or inference or hint, link, and meaning. Furthermore, it shows that there is as much as of something that is wanted or needed. Okay, enough and to. But for enough, this explanation is for enough. For example, Billy is clever enough. Okay, Billy is clever enough to understand that story. So, adjective enough to do something. There is no need to say for Billy. Okay. Okay, in this situation, Billy is clever enough to understand that story. Okay. Okay, the gift says he's tall enough to reach up here. Okay, adjective enough to do something. We should memorize it. I think it is worth repeating 40 times. Adjective to do something. Adjective to do something. Okay, he is tall enough to reach up here. Now, this sentence says, how tall is your younger brother? A question. How tall is your younger brother? He is tall enough to reach up here. Now, again, let's remember what concession means. Concession means franchise. Yes, right to use or sell something. Privilege. Okay. For example, Volkan is tall enough to reach the top shelf. Okay. So being tall is a privilege. Is the privilege for Volkan. Okay. So Volkan is tall enough to reach the top shelf. Okay. Who is brave enough for it? Being brave, for example. Who is brave enough to help the wounded man? George is brave enough to help the wounded man. So he has the right, okay? Because he is brave enough. He has the right to help the wounded man. He has the privilege to help the wounded man. Okay. This is a franchise. He has the franchise of helping the wounded man. Yes. Who is brave enough to help the wounded man? George is full stop. Is also true, but yes, our purpose is to get to know the narrow streets of English. Yes. We can call this expression adjective enough to do is a narrow street of English. Yes. Who is brave enough to help the wounded man? George is brave enough to help the wounded man. Now, this is the 1111th dialogue of Harmony 2. Gökhan is old enough, okay? Mature enough. Gökhan is old enough to join the driving course. Efficient enough, proficient enough, yes. Gökhan is old enough to join the driving course. He is the right age. He is the right age for that reason. For that reason, he can apply for it. Who isn't old enough? Who isn't old enough? Of course, we can use them in negative sentences as well as in question forms. Who isn't old enough to join the driving course? Furkan isn't old enough to join the driving course. Furkan is younger than Gökhan. Okay. Now, here is a command or is a summary. Let me read the image first. Leave the moment. Now we are in 2023. Between past and future, the previous subjects are in our memory. The next subjects are in our dreams. We live in the present moment between past and future. Yes. After the 1111th dialogue. Sorry, not the. After 1011 dialogues, it is quite clear that what we have learned in the past enhances, develops, beautifies, enhances, improves what we are learning at the present moment. It also means that what we will learn in the future will be nurtured, will be fed both from our past and from the present moment. Yeah, this is a kind of evaluation of our situation. Okay, Robert is studying willingly enough. Okay, Robert is subject. Is studying is verb, continuous tense. Okay, look at Robert, he is studying now. Robert is studying willingly enough. After verb, willingly enough. Willing is adverb, normal adverb, but yes, adjective enough, adverb enough. Robert is studying willingly enough to graduate, isn't he? Yes, yes. We are observing, we are witnessing that Robert is studying willingly enough to graduate. 17. Robert is studying willingly enough to pass the exam. Is Martin studying English eagerly or differently? Yes, Martin is studying English eagerly, willingly enough to. Or, no, unfortunately, Martin isn't studying English eagerly enough. So Martin is studying English indifferently. Martin is studying English, but indifferently. So if we put two, for example, unfortunately, Martin is studying English too indifferently to learn. So according to this situation, it means that Martin will not learn English, but Robert will learn English, will acquire English. Okay, 18. Melih is talking romantically enough. Okay, Melih is talking romantically enough to persuade her to marry him. Is Meliha also talking romantically or realistically? Yes, Meliha is also talking romantically enough to marry him. Or we can just say she is talking realistically, not romantically. Or yes, she is also talking realistically enough to marry him. Okay. 19. Naile is joyful and serious besides verb ing. Okay. Naile is joyful and serious besides being patient. So she can be a good teacher. Is she patient enough to be a teacher? Yes, she is patient enough. Adjective enough. She is patient enough to be a teacher. This is the situation of this expression. She is adjective enough, patient enough. Who is hardworking enough to have, to take, to achieve, to acquire, to win, to get the reward? Mahmud is working, is hardworking enough to get the reward. Kind and cruel, yes, the opposite of each other. 20. Kerime is polite enough, yes, polite enough. Kerime is polite enough to make new friends. Who listens to the teacher carefully enough? Okay. Now here, polite adjective is after the verb. After the verb is as adjective, but after the verb listen, carefully we use adverb, you know. So who listens to the teachers carefully enough to pass the exams? Sally listens to the teachers carefully enough to pass the exams. 21. You should study intelligently enough. Okay, you should study intelligently enough to get the right points, proper points. What should they do to earn plenty of money? Oh, let me read the example sentences. Maybe we wrote them in one of the previous online lessons. Okay, together with the other participants. What should they do to earn plenty of money? They should be hardworking enough to earn plenty of money. They should work hard enough. Yes, hard is adverb here. Hard enough to earn plenty of money. They should keep working hard. Yes, they should keep working hard to earn plenty of money. They should work much harder to earn plenty of money. These are also possible and true responses, answers. Okay. Okay. 22. David behaved calmly enough to avoid a conflict. Who waited patiently enough to get a job? Rasim waited patiently enough to get a job. Now heading is after verb, enough countable nouns to do something. Okay? Again, enough countable nouns to do something. Roman number 2, after again verb, enough uncountable noun to do something. For example, 23. Ale has enough ambition. Okay? Ale has enough ambition to enter university. Who has answered enough questions to enter university? Yes, Mehmet has answered enough questions to enter university. Of course, we know this noun to do something, whether it is countable or uncountable. Enough noun. Have we got enough time, for example? Have we got enough time to write an essay? Do we have enough time to write an essay? Yes, we have enough time to write an essay. Yes, we have plenty of enough time. Now, Roman number 2, yes, this is the second one of the concession expressions with to. It is again after verb, okay? To adjective or to adverb, again, for somebody to do something, okay? To do. This is important. This structure has or indicates a negative implication and meaning, negative. Moreover, it shows that there is more of something that is enough, necessary, or wanted. For example, Helen is too old to cook. Okay? She can't cook. She is very, very old. Helen is too old to cook. She behaves too slowly and carelessly to cook. Okay? She behaves, she thinks, okay? She behaves too slowly to cook, too carelessly to cook. After the verb, behave. She behaves too slowly to cook. But after the verb to be, Helen is too old to cook. Now, 24, the gift says, it's too cold outside. It is too cold outside. I am staying in. I'm going to stay in. I have to stay in. Okay. 24, the weather. The weather is too cold for them. Okay. Too cold for them to play outside in the garden. What's the garden like? The garden is too snowy for them to play outside. Or the garden is too untidy. The garden is too untidy to play. The garden is too wild for them to play in it. Okay. Too big for them. 25. Ilhan is too ill to play. Okay, Ilhan is too ill to play. It is very clear that too ill for Ilhan, there is no need to say for him, okay, because we know the subject. Ilhan, but here we don't know the subject. The weather is too cold for the children, okay, to play outside in the garden. But here we know. So Ilhan is too ill to play outside in the garden. How is Tufan? Tufan is too young. Tufan is a baby. Tufan is too young to play outside, or Tufan is too sleepy to play outside. Let him sleep. Okay, 26. Lily talks too quickly. Again, attention please, after the verb, yes, quickly describes the verb here. Okay, Lily talks. How does he talk? Lily talks too quickly for me to understand her perfectly. How does Sally talk? Sally talks too impolitely. Sally talks too impolite. Okay. Very, very impolite. To persuade them, for example. So she can't persuade them. Why? Because she talks too unkindly, too rudely, too badly, too impolitely to persuade them. This sentence has the message that she cannot persuade them. Okay. 27. The demonstrators walked too slowly to reach the capital on time. How did the police move? The police moved too indifferently to stop them. World Health Day, okay, 28A. I have to give up getting interested in trivial things because life is too short to waste time. Who has to give up trivial things to be successful in life? All of us, yes, all of us have to give up trivial things to be successful in life, or each of us has to give up. All of us have to give up. 29. The pickle is too salty for me to eat. The pickle is too salty. For whom? For me, for you, for Ahmed, for Yasin. The pickle is too salty for Ilhan to eat. Isn't it too dark for you to read? Yes, yes, you are right. It is too dark for me to read. Turn on the light, please. Yes. 30. These bags are too heavy for us to carry. Isn't this camera too complicated to operate? Yes, yes, you are right. It is too complicated to operate. Okay. Use means verb, useful, adjective. But it is useful. We can use it soon after learning. Okay. Dialogue 31A. Jafer is too young to apply for the post. Okay. Who behaved too nervously to be hired? So, Turgay behaved too nervously to be hired. So, they didn't hire him. We understand that they didn't hire Turgay. Who behaved too egotistically to be hired? Faruk behaved too egotistically to be hired. Okay. So unfortunately, they didn't hire him. We are hiring. Yes. We are employing. We will employ you. We will employ someone who wants. Okay. 32A. Silly was too late to listen to the first speaker. Who else arrived too late to listen to the first speaker or lecturer? Janice was too late to listen to the first speaker. Before they eat breakfast, they wash their hands. What is the connection? Maybe it was important in one of the previous lessons to write something like this. Okay. 33A. They are talking too noisily to understand each other. They are talking too noisily to understand each other. What else are they doing? Too recklessly, heedlessly, carelessly to understand each other. They are shouting. They are shouting too heedlessly, recklessly, carelessly to understand each other. So they don't understand each other. It has a negative implication. Hint. It has a negative reference. Okay, what did George Eliot say? He said that it is never too late to be. Okay? It is never too late to be what we might have been. What we might have been so far. Yeah. Modal perfect. We have a presentation about modal perfect before starting passive voice. Okay. So let's think about this sentence, about the structure, I mean, not the meaning. Meaning is also beautiful. It is never too late. Is there a necessity to write for us? Although we don't see we or subject at the beginning, it is never too late for us to be what we might be. But after the what clause, there is we. So it will be waste of words. Okay, waste of words to use for us because we clarifies the situation. Okay, let me read it for the last time. It is never too late to be what we might have been so far. In parentheses, so far. Okay, Roman number 1. To again. To after the verb, of course, this is really important. After the verb, to. Too much or too little, uncountable noun for somebody to do. Again, too much, too little to do. Okay. But too much, too little noun to do. Okay. There is too much money to count. Okay. It means that nobody can count it. There is too much money to count. How much money is there? So there is too little money. There is too little money to buy that computer. This building has too little space, okay? This building has too little space for us to stay, doesn't it? Yes, you are right. This building has too little space for us to stay, so we cannot stay in that building. Roman number 3, again, after verb, too many, too few for countable nouns to do something. And of course, for somebody. There are too many dollars. Yes, money is uncountable, but dollar is countable. There are too many dollars to count. There are too many dollars to count. It means that nobody can count them. How many days are there to finish the project? There are too many days to finish the project, so more than necessary. Okay, there are days more than necessary. Okay, there are too many days to finish the project. So although it has negative structure, it has a positive meaning here. So don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Relax. There are too many days to finish the project. But if we say there are too few days to finish the project, means we can't finish the project. There are too few days. But if we say there are too many days, don't worry, we can finish the project. Okay, 36A, we have too few. Yeah, we have too few tomatoes to make a salad. So we can't make a salad. There are too few for us, for 10 people, for example. How many onions do we have? We have, or is have. We have too many. We have too few tomatoes to cook the meal. But if we say what happens, let's see. We have too many. We have too many onions to cook the meal. Means don't worry. We have onions more than we need, more than necessary. Okay. Many onions. Okay, now quiz time. Quiz tour 6, trip 1. Please choose the correct alternative. Question 1. I finished all my grocery shopping. blank, I won't have to do any tomorrow. But so, in case, since, as. So. Okay. Yesterday, I finished all my grocery shopping, so I won't have to do any shopping tomorrow. Okay. To blank, you are willing to learn English. Blank, you are willing to learn English. I will do my best to be helpful to you. I will do my best to be helpful to you, to help you. So, which one? Why will I do my best? Blank, you are willing to learn English. Although, no. So that, no. So, no. In case, no. Now that, yes. Now that, just like because, or since, because you are willing, yes. Now that is just like because. Now that you are willing to learn English, I will do my best to be helpful to you. Okay. Jakub was born in Germany. Okay. Right. He has a tendency to improve his German. Though, however, therefore, as long as, now that Jakub was born in Germany, therefore, that's why. Yes, that's why. Yeah, so, yes, we will study them, both and group conjunctions, but group conjunctions, because group conjunctions, so group conjunctions, completely, entirely in advanced level. Yes, we will study them in detail. Okay. Yes, so for question 4, blank I meet you, you are always talking about politics. Are you obsessed with it? Are you obsessed with it? Yes, whenever. I think whenever I meet you. Yes, whenever I meet you, you are always. Not while, whichever, whereas, whatever. Okay. 5, we had such an excellent time. We had such an excellent time, blank. None of us wanted to turn back home. We had such an excellent time that. Yes, none of us wanted to turn back. Okay. This is the key. Yes. Okay. Some practical sentences. Decisive is a really nice adjective. Decisive means having the power or quality of deciding a question or controversy, putting an end to contest or controversy. Final, conclusive, decisive. If something is decisive, like a decisive statement, we cannot deny it. Yes. So it is determinative. We cannot deny it. It has many clues and evidence that it is true. Okay. Attention is also an excellent word. Attention, carefulness, heedfulness. Yeah. It has a noun, and the gift says, you stay focused. You stay concentrated, focus. You stay calm. Yes, you stay adjective. You stay focused. Our energy, our power of doing something, yes, our energy looks at our attention. Wherever attention concentrates, our energy flows there. Exactly true, absolutely. It is like this. Our energy flows to where our attention concentrates on. Yes, nice idea. Okay. Or energy follows attention. So we must be attentive. Energy follows attention. We learn what we pay attention to. So I must pay attention to where I am, and act accordingly. Or, so I must pay attention to where I am and act according to where I am. Act, behave. Okay. What counts? Yes, this is also what matters. Yeah, what counts or that counts. What matters? If your attention, sorry, it's your attention what counts or that counts or what matters, that matters. What counts is your attention, or what matters is your attention. What matters is your attention. Yes, I recited it before reading, before seeing the written form. What matters is your attention. It's your attention what matters. Your attention is important. Your attention is what counts. Your attention is essential, vital, very important. Right data, right solution. Yes, if we have right data, true knowledge, we can find right solution. A solution to a problem is found in or under the light of correct data belonging to it. Yes, so data is light. Knowledge is light. You have a mind with highly super imagination. You have a mind with highly super imagination. You are imaginative, you are modern, you are innovative. Yes, you have a mind with highly or with highly high, yeah, possible. Highly super imagination. Imagination is connected, is a connection with innovation. Innovation, yes. Palliative, just we can, I think it's enough just to know it. Palliative. Palliative means, as an adjective, remedy that alleviates pain without curing, okay? Yes, mean superficial, palliative, superficial. Is this form of treatment of you palliative or holistic? In other words, relieving or curing. Yes, if it is palliative, it is relieving. It is not curing. As if, close. It seems as if everything in the story has come true. In fact, it seems too much all happened. It seems too much all happened. Yes, as if. As if again, let's drink our tea as if we are by the Bosphorus in Istanbul. Let it not recur anymore. Yeah, let it not recur anymore. Let it recur no more. Yes, same message. Do you think this unpleasant event recurs? Is this a recurring event? This is, for example, our online English class is a recurring online class. Yeah, this is a recurring online English class. A week later, I shall welcome you again, I hope. So thank you for listening and watching. I hope, again, it was useful for you, and see you next time.